Nutrition Month, so it's the perfect time to think about the foods you are eating.
We all know cooking can be a little time consuming, but the good news is healthy meals, they don't have to be that difficult to make. And joining us this morning is New York Times bestselling cookbook author Danielle Walker from San Francisco. Hey, Danielle.
Hi, how are you?
Doing great. Thanks for being with us. So talk about what led to you starting to write cookbooks. We also hear you have a new cookbook coming out soon.
I do. So my sixth cookbook is coming out in September. It's called Make It Easy. And the other ones I started back in 2013. My first cookbook called Against All Grain came out. And I started as a blogger, and I was creating recipes specifically for low inflammation because I had an autoimmune disease. I still do have an autoimmune disease called ulcerative colitis. And everything that I was trying conventional medicine-wise just was not working. It was causing so many side effects. And so I set out to see if the types of foods that I was eating or not getting enough of could potentially help just mitigate some of the symptoms. And I noticed such a huge difference, honestly, within 48 hours of kind of going on more of a paleo style diet. So no grains, no dairy, and no refined sugar. There's a few other things in there, but we focus on grass-fed and organic meats, seeds and nuts, vegetables, fruits, things like that. And I started just writing recipes because what I was making originally tasted like cardboard, which I think a lot of people have the same sentiment when they go gluten-free or grain-free. And I was young and loved to cook already and knew how many of my celebrations and things surrounded food, and especially coming from an Italian family. And so it was my goal early on just to be able to create foods that tasted great, that didn't make me feel like I was missing out on anything, but that could be sustainable, knowing that it really was helping my symptoms.
I'm so glad you found something that works for you. And I love that you mentioned that word sustainable. So I want to know about maybe 3 healthy meal ideas you can tell us about. And do any of the recipes take under 30 minutes to make? I see you have a crock pot next to you, so I don't know, maybe one.
I do. So this is an electric pressure cooker instant pot. And yes, one of the meals that I'm sharing with you is just a 3-ingredient chicken taco meat. It's something, I have 3 kids. And despite being a cookbook author who has written over 1,000 recipes, I still have picky kids, just like the rest of the world. And I want to feed them healthy meals. So this is something we go back to over and over again. It's just chicken in an instant pot. I have a line of taco seasoning that's certified organic and certified gluten-free. There can be some hidden starches in seasoning blends. So I use that plus some salsa. It takes 5 to 10 minutes in the Instant Pot, depending on if your chicken is frozen or thawed. And that is something I go back to over and over again. We do taco bowls. We'll do sometimes lettuce wraps or almond flour tortillas. And then I have another one that's also slow cooker or Instant Pot that is an orange sesame chicken. It was actually in my very first cookbook in 2013 and was one that really took me by surprise that my readers just latched onto right away and have been making over and over and over again for over a decade. So those are just a couple things that I fall back on all the time. We make them probably once a week, and they're very easy. And yes, under 30 minutes. And a lot of the recipes, if not all of them in Make It Easy, just, aside from maybe an 8-hour slow cooking time, are under that kind of 30-minute and under category.
I know we want something quick. So when you're looking to go gluten-free or have to go gluten-free for health reasons, is it easy to sort of come up with these recipes or at least make changes if that's something you need to focus on?
Absolutely. Okay. And in every single one of my books, I also have an online cooking course that walks people through your pantry items, what to look for, flipping the labels and understanding where gluten hides. I think a lot of people, when they first get diagnosed, it can just feel like you're drinking from a fire hose because it's a lot of information. But once you realize, that gluten can be found in salad dressings or it's in soy sauce, things that you might not automatically think of, because I think we automatically go to breads and pastas, pizza crusts, things where you're like, oh yes, I know gluten is in that. But there's so many alternatives these days. And really, once you learn kind of what to look for, what to shop for, and you find an arsenal of, maybe 5 to 10 recipes that your family likes that you just put on repeat. And then you kind of have 1 or 2 days a week where you experiment and try something that might be a little out of the ordinary. It really can be sustainable and easy once you just kind of get past that initial step. And that's really why I write my books and I put my courses out. I also have a Substack. It's just to really give people as much information as they can, because when I was first diagnosed and I would ask if something was gluten-free at a restaurant, this is back in 2007, I would be looked at like I had four heads. And so I want people to feel less alone, and I want them to have the resources so that they really can dive in right away and start to feel better.
Yeah.
Nice and inclusive. Well, congratulations on your newest cookbook and also your taco seasoning line. That's really neat too. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. All right, if you want to find more recipes from Danielle, you can also follow her on Instagram. Her handle is @Danielle Walker. Those all look delicious.
I know, and I'm getting hungry. I actually had my annual physical yesterday, and one of the things my doctor and I talked about was changing my diet. So this was really helpful, giving me some ideas and some of the more healthier things I can eat.
Might be a good book to get, I think.
Yeah.